In this tutorial, we'll be adding multiple Vicious Engine materials to a 3D object. I've already opened 3D Studio Max and opened the OBJ Island object that we created in the previous tutorials. We first need to add a material to the entire object. So I'm going to click off of the object, make sure the selection tool is selected, and click back on the object to make sure I have the object selected. Then when I press the M key, I can add a material to that object. I'm going to click on the first material, click on the standard button, double click on VE material, and now I've got my VE material I'm working with here. Under the material drop down menu, I'm going to choose Grass Jake. That is a material that I've already created, so you'll have to see a previous tutorial on how to do that. And I've got a grass material. Under surface, I'm just going to use the S-Room collision so that it will collide with things. And I'm going to drag and drop that material onto my 3D object. And then I'm going to close my material editor. Now, so I can see my 3D object in all of my four perspectives the way I'd like to see it, I'm going to click on this little icon down here that's called Zoom Extents All. And that will put my entire object in all four perspectives so that I can see the entire thing. Now I'm going to right click on my 3D object and go to the bottom and click Convert To, and then Convert to Editable Poly. You will see then Editable Poly inside your modifier list. So while you have the modifier tab open, underneath Selection, click on the red square for polygon. Now we can select just part of our object. So I'm going to use the selection tool, and because I want the top part of the island, I'm going to use the front view, and I'm going to drag and select the top half of my editable poly. And this is going to be the rock area, so I'm actually going to get about that much of it right there. And you can see now that the red area is what I have selected, and that's the area where the material is going to go. So now I'm going to press the M key to reopen the material editor, and I'm going to select on the second material, and again choose the Vicious Engine material. And the material I'm going to use for this part is going to be a stone. This is one of the default Vicious Engine materials. I'm choosing O Dynamic Stone, and you can see what that looks like there. And again, I'm using S-Room collision, and I'm going to drag that and drop it onto the red area. Now it doesn't look like anything changes, but if I were to click off of my 3D object, you can see that the top part of that became a rocky area. Now I want the bottom part, where the water is going to be over, to be sand. So I'm going to go through those same steps to add a layer of sand. So first I'm going to use the selection tool and select the bottom part of my island. You can see how much that is. And then I'm going to click on the third material, select the VE material, and under the material list I'm going to use another Vicious Engine material that's E1 Sand. And you can see that is a sand type material. And the surface I'm going to use the S-Room collision, and I can drag and drop that onto the red area and then click off a couple times, and now you can see I've got the sand on the very bottom. I'm going to go ahead and close the material editor. Again, if you want to see this, how it would be rendered in the 3D engine, click on Rendering, Render, and hit the render button. And that's what my 3D island looks like with 3 different materials added onto it.